hockey fans, are you ready to brave the wild? With me, your host, Paladino Joey, or Joey Awajan. Brave the Wild is available on the sportstuff.com, iTunes, Stitcher, or Double Twist. Great to be back on board to talk Minnesota Wild hockey with you once again today. A fairly positive week, but a little scary. Kind of some of the bad habits are back again, and the high goal amounts are back again, with the exception of one game on national television, which went very, very well. That's cool. But let's watch out. A little bit of traps going on. Trap games is the title of this episode. Pretty obvious. Pretty obvious as to why coming in. Several trap games in this one, except the Chicago game. But even that one, you could argue, was a little bit of a trap early on with the old Patrick the Rat Kane, basically, trapping the Wild once again early on. But yeah, things changed in a very positive note. The Wild finished 3-1 this week. Very good anyway. Thankfully, but it's just... yeah, a little scary, though. Alarming, some bad habits. Hopefully, Bruce Boudreau and the boys can clean up some of this mess a little bit as we head into another fairly tough week against Western Conference opponents, all playoff caliber teams, if not playoff teams. Dallas, well, you know, they're not in the playoffs right now, but they've been in the playoffs recently, and there's always a possibility they can emerge and get hot again. St. Louis, Nashville, Anaheim, that's going to be 4 games to preview, 4 games to review. Let's get to work right away, and of course we'll look at the prospects as we wrap things up once again. Minnesota Wild last Saturday beat the Dallas Stars 5-4. Darcy Kuemper in net. You knew it was going to be another mess. You know, I knew it was going to be something like this. I was thinking 4-3, the Wild would win. Maybe it would take a shootout or overtime or something. But then when you see the Wild go up 3-0 on the first 3 shots of the game from Antti Niemi, with Antti Niemi in net, you think, okay, we're going to be fine here. I mean, because Niemi was fairly solid earlier in the season, actually leading to a Wild loss earlier in overtime in Dallas, 3-2. Antti Niemi very strong in that game. Lettinen struggled early on in the 4-0 victory for the Wild on October the 29th. Niemi back in net. Kuemper in net once again. Okay, sure. Nice strong start to this one. Koivu, Stahl, Dumba making it look oh so easy. Koivu with basically accepting a turnover and then doing a wrister. Eric Stahl, beautiful after a nice feed from forward feed from Coyle, and then Dumba just basically shooting it on net and buries it. Granlund nailing another assist there as he keeps racking those up. Feeling so good, just 4 minutes in the game, 3-0. Niemi's pulled, Lettinen is in, and well, just no Niemi, no problem. The Wild would score anyway 8 minutes later, or about 9 minutes later. Jordan Schrader leading a rush, and Stewart just kind of going towards the net. And left alone, and a spectacular pass from Schrader as Stewart, the puck just basically slides off Stewart's stick into the net. And Stewart saying, "Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, bro?" It's basically, you could read his lips. Like, that was awesome. Just nice to see those guys getting along and playing well together. Schrader and Stewart, got to think that Schrader's going to be sticking in the NHL at long last. Of course, the former first-round pick of the Vancouver Canucks all the way back in 2009. Nice career with the Gobers, of course. Looked promising, slowed things down, but I think he's going to have a career season with the Wild here. And nice to see Jordan Schrader emerging nicely on that fourth line. Still scoring, regardless if he's on the fourth line or not. Stewart and Schrader. What a nice chemistry. Cool. And then right before the end of the first period, 4-0 Wild. We're going to coast to victory. Everything's cool. And then Antoine Roussel puts one high past Kuemper off the post. Basically, everything's off the post, it seems like these days. Players nowadays use the post almost like a backboard in basketball. Roussel was able to get his 6th goal of the year, and then that was a sign for things to come, as Kuemper would get beat twice in the second period by Yuri Hudler and Tyler Seguin. Just slack-jawed defense, bad habits, and then Seguin, though, I mean, what is Kuemper doing here? He's just goofing around. And then the Klingberg goal, my goodness, like midway through the third period. But okay, they're on the power play, man advantage. The puck just goes off of Kemper's leg and goes high into the net. Like, really, Kuemper? Just out of position, not ready for that one at all. Good shot by Klingberg. He's one of the best defensemen, and he's valuable, all that. 7th goal of the year. It's a tie game. Thank God the Wild said, okay, you know what? We're not going to lose this game after going up 4-0. That is just unacceptable. Regardless if the Wild's success in Dallas hasn't been good over the years, it's been better lately. Zucker, this one, coming to the net, And right before the net is knocked off, Zucker puts the puck in. Of course, Zucker attacking the net, crashing the net, and literally crashed into the net. But again, luckily, the puck in. Another great feed by Granlund. The top line just dominating. How can you not love, or excuse me, the second line? They might as well be the top line. Just dominating once again. Awesome Granlund, Zucker, and Koivu several times in this game. Very cool to see them getting the job done. And the Wild sneak away with the victory. Thank God, after a nice little attack by the Stars later on, the rest of the game, Kemper able to hang on. Thank God. Not, again, another 4-goal performance, though, by Kemper. His goals against average now 3.3 and just barely above 90%. Darcy Kemper really looking like a candidate to go down to Iowa. The only problem is it's a one-way contract. So you send him down to Iowa, you still got to pay him NHL money. That's bullcrap. That's why he's still up here. I would think Stalock was, as he's continued to get stronger and stronger and stronger, and he had another good week down there in Iowa. You'd think Stalock could be up with the Wild right now, and Kemper could maybe try to get back into form in Iowa. But I don't know. I mean, we're stuck with him right now, I guess, for the moment, until the Wild say, you know what, screw this. We got to have Stalock, and I got to think one more nasty game like that, Kemper will not be in net for a while for the Minnesota Wild. Sunday, January the 15th, back-to-back game. Things looked awfully rocky early on. The Wild looked kind of nervous, looked kind of tired, looked kind of unready for this one. Starting things out, at least at the very beginning. Luckily, things not getting past Dubnyk until Patrick Kane is able to kind of be by himself for a moment there. Once you see Kane with the puck, he's going to score every single time, it seems like, if he's got any type of space. And, of course, Patrick Kane would score twice in this one, early in the first and then early in the second. Dubnyk very strong in the game. Patrick Kane would be the only guy to score for Chicago. But it's just both times he was kind of left alone, given enough space, and the Wild defense kind of slack-jawed like they were in Dallas. You're not going to get away with that with Patrick Kane, despite the fact other Blackhawk players like Jonathan Toews not having a very good season with nagging injuries and such. The Blackhawks defense very strong. Corey Crawford stopping most of everything coming his way for the longest time. But then Nito Niederreiter netting one in the power play. Thank God for that. 12th goal of the season. Getting things going. How exciting was that? Niederreiter, just an awesome week. Chris Stewart, another great week as well. 3 goals for Chris Stewart. 3 goals for Niederreiter along the way. Niederreiter, just his value is off the charts. 12, 13, and 14th goal of the year. Niederreiter as he continues to dominate. Chris Stewart, again, though, very good on that fourth line. Schrader with another nice pass to Stewart. The chemistry continuing to build. And then Pominville early in that third period, basically given a slam dunk off of a strong shot by Scandella. Corey Crawford can't handle it, and thank God, Jason Pominville finally just getting control of the puck and putting it past Corey Crawford very quickly, because you have to be quick, obviously, and Jason Pominville looking good there. 6th goal of the season, as he hadn't scored in about 14 games. And there you go. He nets some more assists during the course of this week after, again, being called out by me and others all over the places. He's basically done, can't play anymore. Well, had a strong week, and good for him. This game, the Wild, just Devin Dubnyk looked like the same guy as he's been all year. And great to see after a struggling performance from Darcy Kemper. And nice to see the Wild defense get a lot more serious in this one, because if you play slack-jawed like they did against Dallas, man, this team is screwed. Unfortunately, the slack-jawed performance would continue, but we could celebrate for one night as the Wild take first place in the Central Division and first place in the Western Conference as the Wild defeat Chicago on national television on Sunday night. Awesome. And the Wild would maintain it despite losing to New Jersey and barely beating Arizona. Thank God, the Wild, as they have a couple more games in hand now. They're catching up to the Blackhawks, I should say. They're only 3 games less than the Blackhawks played now, and 2 points ahead of Chicago. Wild getting a little more busy in the schedule and, well, taking advantage and assuming the role as number 1 in the West. Gotta love that, without a doubt. Fun game in Chicago. Wild clamping things down and escaping. Only 2 Patrick Kane goals. Only 2. At least there wasn't a hat trick there, right? The New Jersey game, just an example of a trap game, and the fact how this team against New Jersey has been it's been a struggle with this team pretty much forever. Corey Schneider's been good against them. Martin Brodeur been good against them. Schneider very strong much earlier in the season, a 2-1 victory in New Jersey. way back. Corey Schneider, great in that game. Devin Dubnyk, great in that game, but unfortunately New Jersey able to get a late goal, and they're able to do it here again. Devin Dubnyk giving up 4 goals in regulation on only 26 shots, but I'm telling you, the Wild defense, again, slack-jawed, and turnovers and odd man rushes, New Jersey capitalizing on them. Dubnyk could have been better, though, in both of these games with New Jersey and Phoenix. I keep calling them Phoenix. It's Arizona now. It's been Arizona for a few years. But lately, it's been happening. It's like what you'd always say about Corey Crawford, shoot it high. And that's basically what's been going on with New Jersey and Phoenix here. Shoot it high. And they've been going past Dubnyk's shoulder time and time again. You get Dubnyk down, and he's pretty much screwed if you shoot it high, it seems like at this point. Hopefully Dubnyk can make the proper adjustments in this one. Lord have mercy. Now the Wild are actually tied with Chicago as they won their most recent game. Unfortunately, 63 points apiece. And Chicago now has four more games played than the Wild. So this literally updating here. Unfortunately, the Blackhawks win that one. Oh, the New Jersey game. It looked positive early, very early. Spurgeon, a spectacular play. This is actually late in the first period. The Wild kind of looking a little bit, but at least the New Jersey Devils not scoring on Dubnyk, that type of thing. The Wild unable to finish on Schneider. A couple of great saves along the way. But then, off of Niederreiter's shot, which went in the air, Spurgeon making one of the plays of the year. And again, nice to see the defenseman crashing the net here, stepping up. He basically catches the puck in midair and then just literally baseballs it in like you're just practicing a little batting practice. Just kind of nubbing the ball, maybe to an infielder or something for little league practice or whatever, 6th grade, whatever the heck it is, and just puts it right past Schneider that way. Pretty awesome on the power play. 6th goal of the season for him. Jason Zucker attacking off of, again, just a beautiful feed from Granlund. I mean, every time Granlund has the puck, I get really excited. I love Mikael Granlund. Have you not noticed that? I would hate to see him go to Las Vegas, and I got to think the Wild will protect Granlund. Zucker, we'll see. I don't want him to go either, the way he's been. I mean, I don't ever want to see this line broken up via injury, trade, or, of course, expansion draft. They got to keep this line together. It's as good as it gets. Just gorgeous. They strike again here, of course, like I mentioned. Zucker getting one past Schneider. And that's next thing you know, it's 2-0 against New Jersey with about the midpoint of the game. But just a couple minutes later, the Wild start to get slack-jawed, start to give up rushes and such. New Jersey capitalizing on the power play after bad penalties there. Adam Henrique ties it up just like that in that third period. Eric Holla puts the Wild ahead. You got him, and that made you feel a lot better. A Zach Parise type of goal, basically. Holla getting very close with Corey Schneider finishing a coil rebound. Finishing the rebound off of a coil shot, I should say. And then Palmieri and Bennett, again, getting it high past Dubnyk. And the Wild defense just caught sleeping again. Not completely sleeping, but at least for that split second, they just cannot clear the puck away on the Palmieri goal. And then Bennett, again, kind of left alone, given space. And Devin Dubnyk beat high again by Bo Bennett. And again, very frightening there when you see that. Hopefully this is not a trend here, and it's just a mirage. But 4 goals allowed by Dubnyk in regulation. Again, the defense is a huge problem, but at the same time, if they can beat him high on a regular basis, boy, that was a tell with Corey Crawford for a while, but the Blackhawks were able to overcome it with strong defense and, of course, scoring on the other end, denying the puck to the opponent, of course. So that's part of it, and that's one of the reasons the Wild have been so good. But luckily, when you have Bruce Boudreau as coach, they will figure things out. They'll stop feeling sorry for themselves, literally, and just go out there and want it more. And that's what the Wild were able to do with Arizona, just barely, despite the fact Dubnyk beat high again multiple times in this game. Thursday, January the 19th, 4-3 victory for the Wild. Thank God, as the Wild maintain first place for the moment. Eric Stahl, oh man. Eric Stahl again. I mean, you see him on his own, and he lulls the Arizona goaltender to sleep. Domingue, in this case. Domingue, not that great, not that spectacular. Mike Smith sitting this one out against his former cohort there in Arizona. We're glad to have him here. That's for damn sure. Stahl, the 16th goal of the year, leading the team in scoring without a doubt. Perlini left alone on a bad turnover. Shane Doan basically taking the puck away and nice lead pass to Perlini. The 40-plus-year-old Shane Doan, the final Winnipeg Jet, the original Winnipeg Jets, remaining in the NHL. He's the Mike Modano of the Winnipeg Jets / Dallas Stars, that type of thing. Dallas Stars, Winnipeg Jets, North Stars, all that. You get the idea. I'm bouncing around here. But Perlini able to finish high again on Dubnyk. Man, frustrating. Niederreiter keeping the puck alive in the power play. It's just literally almost like Parisi, the way he went down and got it out to Koivu. Pominville able to be a part of things as well, and then Niederreiter off of a nice feed from Koivu to finish the job. 13th goal of the season. You gotta love that. Chris Stewart with a highlight level play. I mean, my goodness, in that second period after the Wild and his Arizona trade, some physical play and some sloppy play as well. Arizona getting a few chances, but mostly this game, not the most fun brand of hockey, I'd have to say. Not a whole lot of shots on net, but at least there were a lot of shots blocked. Thank God. From the Wild. Arizona blocking more shots, though, than the Wild in this one, which was frustrating, but it is what it is. They're a strong defensive team with their coach, despite the fact they give up a lot of goals, because overall they're just not a very good team. But at least they do play a defensive style. The Wild able to net 4 goals, thank God, in this one, despite the strong defense from Arizona on multiple occasions, able to capitalize on the mistakes from the Arizona Coyotes. Chris Stewart left alone. Nice little feed from Pominville. Just kind of took off like a lead pass. Chris Stewart just going towards Domingue. Fakes to the right, goes to the left, and wraps around him. Just a great play. Like a triple D type of play. 10th goal of the year for Chris Stewart. A fourth-line winger already with 10 goals in the midway point of the season. And Chris Stewart, again, a guy who scored 28 goals in the past. We always like to talk about that. He's an ever-capable scorer in this league. And he is really taking advantage of the minutes he gets in that fourth line. And, wow, gotta love what you're saying. Of course, Pominville moved back down to the fourth line with Jordan Schrader and Chris Stewart at this point. Actually, Schrader was moved up. I apologize. Schrader was actually moved up. And then, of course, Graovac never getting any points ever, it seems like, despite his strong physical play and occasional nice shot attempts and such. He'll get some attempts. He'll win some face-offs. But more or less, he's more of a physical type of guy who can take the puck away and win the wall battles. And that's pretty much what Graovac has been. Still only 3 goals on the season, but he's maintained his position in the NHL. I mean, heck, Niederreiter had 1 goal in 55 games with the New York Islanders, so I suppose the Wild can put up with Graovac's lack of scoring at this stage. But when he does score, it's beautiful. I forgot, though. Yes, Schrader moved up to the third line and occasionally even on the first line, as Bruce Boudreau continuing to shovel things around. Niederreiter put on the power play because of his strong play of late, and he was put on the power play again. Niederreiter, multiple power play goals in this game. After a couple of quick goals from Arizona, just about a minute apart, not even a minute apart. Mistakes by the Wild, again, more lackadaisical play. It's like, we're playing Arizona, we'll be fine, we'll beat these guys. Yeah, you beat them, but you can't mess around. These are still NHL players. They would kill the Gophers. They would kill the Gophers. They would kill Providence. They would kill Boston University. They're still NHL players. You can't just goof around. And, of course, the Wild know that. But, again, you just get too comfortable, and the frustration mounts for the Bruce Boudreaux in a game like this. You can only imagine the frustration. About 30 seconds apart, Arizona scoring multiple goals. One by McGinn, one by Chychrun. Unbelievable. Doan with multiple assists in this game. And, by the way, Pominville with 3 assists in this game. How crazy is that? Jason Pominville, 3 points, 3 assists in this game. Isn't that nice? So a guy, it's like you don't score very often, but hey, 4 points in about 3 games there. Spectacular. He got the goal against Chicago to finish things off, and then you get 3 assists. Gotta like that. I mean, I'm happy for Pominville. He needs those points, and he really got them here. Again, with that, the Niederreiter power play with about 8 minutes remaining in the game. That was a good one, without a doubt. Able to just finish the job. That's really what matters most. Another good pass from Granlund, redirected by Niederreiter from a decent ways away. It was just a great redirect, kind of raising the puck in the air, basically, is what Niederreiter did on that one. And Granlund just finishing, getting yet another assist as he leads the team in assists. And Niederreiter, one of the leaders in scoring right now with 14 goals. Pominville luckily able to pick up literally the hockey assist on this one, because he was not the he was not the final assister on the play. So cool, able to nail another point. Got to be happy for him there, but also, again, Niederreiter, just a strong week the whole week. Several shot attempts, always around. Got a nose for that puck, as we always like to say. A great week for Nino Niederreiter, and nice to see him emerge. And Bruce Boudreau, again, rewarding Nino Niederreiter by having him out on the power play for his strong play. And take advantage of guys that are playing well, right place, right time, rather than just keep guys where they are. Just keep the Koivus, the Suitors, the Barizis on the power play, regardless if they're playing well or not. Instead, you see Granlund, Niederreiter, and even Pominville, Jason Pominville, who's been playing well on the power play. Remember how Pominville used to be on it all the time, regardless. If he hadn't scored in 20 games, he'd be on the power play. He'd be on the point. But now you're having him out there because he's playing well. And there you go. Look what happened. We won the hockey game because of wise coaching decisions. And that's what matters most right there, while getting the victory. So let's pass out the awards here. The Mike McDonald Award for this week is Nino Niederreiter. Absolutely spectacular week. Honorable mention to Jason Pominville. Really happy with his performance over the course of the week. And, of course, Eric Stahl, who's just as good as it gets. And Chris Stewart, man, just so strong. I mean, all those guys, honorable mentions for the award. But we'll give it to Nino Niederreiter. An overall awesome week. And, again, being rewarded by Coach Bruce Boudreau. As for the James Shepherd Memorial, the disappointment of the week, who do you think it is? I mean, it's Kemper, but it's also just lackadaisical play. You can't blame just the defenseman. You got to blame everybody right now. You got to blame everybody right now. And, of course, Jonas Brodin, a broken finger in the New Jersey game. And then, of course, woohoo, who do you see? Yeah, I mean, of course you see Nate Prosser out there. You don't see Mike Riley. But, hey, Mike Riley had played the night before in Iowa, so you just give it time. I mean, Nate Prosser is, he's a nice, strong, stay-at-home defenseman, very physical guy. But Mike Riley will see time with the NHL very soon, probably as soon as the Anaheim game today on Saturday. So there it is. But James Shepherd Memorial's got to be Darcy Kemper officially, as he just struggles. He's not in position. He's not looking like an NHL goalie right now. He's looking basically like the starting goalie, or like a Niemi Lennon on a Dallas right now. A team like that nobody's playing particularly well, or even Arizona, Luis Domingue and Mike Smith. Mike Smith's been playing better. Domingue's like meh, that type of deal. That's kind of what Kemper is right now. I mean, I don't think anybody's knocking on the door that wants to make a trade for Darcy Kemper, and that's too bad. I thought he was going to be a strong backup goalie in this league, at a bare minimum, who could maybe earn a starting job somewhere else, or it would have been here if Dubnyk wasn't acquired via trade. But it is what it is. Darcy Kemper not looking good right now. And, of course, the Wild need to eliminate these bad habits. It's been unbelievably frustrating. And we'll see, hopefully Mike Riley can emerge and get some points at the NHL level. He's been mastering the AHL level, I got to say. One of the leading scorers for the Iowa Wild down there. Hopefully now, after, some slow moments down there, but, again, picking things up the past few months here down in Iowa. Hopefully Mike Riley will have a nice, strong tenure with the Wild, as he's got about a month opportunity to play at the NHL level here with Jonas Brodin, and then a decision will need to be made. Of course, Christian Folin brought up early this year due to injuries, and to Scandella, and then look at Folin ever since. He's just been fantastic, and you'd never want to get rid of him. So it is what it is. I mean, Scandella is going to stay. Spurgeon also having injuries at times, and of course, usually you see when Spurgeon missed a couple of games, you also saw Olofsson for a brief moment. You saw, again, Mike Riley for a brief moment in that case as well. And, of course, Folin's injury wasn't good either. That was a bummer. You saw a whole lot of Prosser during that time. So it is what it is. We'll leave things alone now. We'll preview the next 4 games right after this. Back here on Brave the Wild. Did you miss that little bumper song, Bubble Man from Mega Man 2? I did. I love it. And it's always been there, but during the course of that winning streak, I had to keep the Blades of Steel thing going, like the Yeah, love it. Blades of Steel. Anaheim Ducks. Yeah, the Wild will be working overtime again this weekend. Saturday, Sunday. Like, say, like if people that work a normal Monday through Friday type job, Saturday, Sunday. Again for the Wild. Third week in a row. So they're probably getting frustrated with that, right? No, not really. Especially with all the weekdays off they'd been having. Now the schedule's getting crammed together thanks to all that craziness. Saturday, January the 21st, the Minnesota Wild host the Anaheim Ducks. So Bruce Boudreau's old club, we know already. Just 2 weeks ago, the Wild played a very exquisite, strong road game in Anaheim and won the game 2-1 after giving up 4 goals. So many games in a row, 4 games in a row at that stage. Kemper one of them, 3 for Dubnyk. Like, what the hell's going on? And then you get shut him down 2-1. Spectacular. John Gibson, great in net as well. And Bernier is a nice backup. I wouldn't mind having him instead of Kemper, but we'll see where things go with that. Of course, Anaheim Ducks, first place in the Pacific Division, which is kind of one of their rightful spots, I'd have to say. San Jose, Edmonton, and Anaheim all competing for that. Calgary kind of hanging around at the bottom of the wild card race. And don't look now, the Vancouver Canucks 3 games above 500. They're only 1 point behind the Calgary Flames. Ruh-roh, here come the Vancouver Canucks, the team that we all basically saw you think is just going to be left for dead, like the poor Arizona Coyotes at this stage, 13-26 on the season. I thought they were a little closer to 500, but they are really dropping off the face of the earth. Anaheim has won 4 of their last 5, including a 3-0 win over the Arizona Coyotes. They have given up 1 goal or less in all 5 of the last 5 games. 4-1 victory over Colorado. Of course, now the opponent's not that great until things get a little tiny bit more interesting in the middle here. 3-0 over Arizona. They lose 2-1 to St. Louis. So I guess they did give up 2 goals there. What am I talking about? And then only 1 goal given up versus Tampa Bay. 2-1 win over Ben Bishop and all those guys over there. In Colorado, 2-1 victory over the Lance. Again, not that great of a team, but still, they're winning the games they need to win. Jonathan Bernier, goals against average, not that great, but I'd still take him over Kemper at this point. 2.82 goals against average, 7-3 on the season in front of a strong Anaheim team. I think is known a little bit more for the defense, but they do have scores on that roster. Including Silverberg, as good of a defenseman as there is in the league. 29 points on the season. Strong defensive forwards, strong offensive forwards. Ryan Kessler, guy who drives you crazy. Ryan Getzlaf, the Ryans there, 34 points on the year for Getzlaf, the top playmaker for that club. In a lot of ways, you could say he's the Granlund. As Granlund has gotten good enough now, he's just pretty much at the same level as Getzlaf, at least at the moment. And people would laugh at me in the past saying that, but he's playing great hockey, so who's complaining here? Corey Perry, well-known name again, another playmaker for the Ducks, 33 goals or points on the season. 33 goals. No, not quite that good. John Gibson, a great goalie. Just a great goalie. 3 shutouts on the year. He's got 8 overtime losses, which is kind of sad. He's been snake bit, but hopefully if the Wild go to overtime, we can take advantage of that and give him number 9. 2.26 goals against average, 19-10 on the season for the first place Anaheim Clucks. It's hunting season in Xcel Energy Center. This is the second of three games against the Anaheim Ducks over the course of the season. The final game will be on Valentine's Day. Ooh, isn't that precious? February the 14th at home in Xcel Energy Center. And yes, you know what? I gotta say the whole hunting thing, the orange hat thing, has not been working. It's cool. It's a nice idea, hunting, out duck hunting and everything. Maybe we should move over to Super Mario and Duck Hunt type music. There's something like that instead, because the luck level has not been good. No. Silverberg, day-to-day with an upper body injury. Clayton Stoner, guy we've forgotten all about because just he's always hurt. But, man, what a nice physical defenseman he was for the Wild years ago. Oh, unfortunately, though, he could get goaded into a stupid penalty on occasion. He's been on the injured reserve for quite a while with a lower body injury. Sounds like a knee to me, but I don't know. We'll leave that alone. Clayton Stoner, still not visible since November 17th. And Silverberg, day-to-day, but don't be surprised if he'll be available tomorrow on the today on the 21st. Today, Silverberg, day-to-day as of yesterday. We'll see. And if he's out, take advantage. The Wild need to take advantage and get the victory. Well, Devin Dubnyk will be a net. Expect a stronger performance than 4 goals or 3 goals allowed versus Arizona or New Jersey. Stop screwing around. Let's shut down this physical club. I'm going to go with a 3-2 victory for the Wild. They're going to give up 2 goals, and the Wild will find a way to score 3 on John Gibson, which would be quite an accomplishment considering how strong he was last time around. And Bernier is in net. Take advantage. Get the job done. 3-2 victory for the Wild. Most likely guy to score is going to be... See, it's like you want to think this is a trap game, but no. They had their trap games already. This is not a trap game. This is going to be a strong performance, in my humble opinion. The Wild will get the victory 3-2. Most likely guy to score in the game. Should I go with Niederreiter, keep her going, or should I go with Jason Pominville to keep her going? I'm going to go with Nino Niederreiter. Most likely guy to score against the Anaheim Ducks. 3-2 victory. I think the Wild will pull it out and get her done. Nashville, Sunday, January 22nd. Yet another Sunday game for these two clubs. This one is not on national television, but of course it will be on the good old FSN if you like it or you don't like it. The Wild have played awesome against this team so far this year. Strong overall performances against Rene. You had a close one not too long ago. They had to go to overtime, but the Wild able to finish, and then you had a real strong performance earlier than that. And for some reason, it's not showing, and I don't know why they're doing that. The Nashville Predators, though, very much in the playoff picture at this moment. Hopefully, the Wild can continue to beat this club. Pekka Rinne, he's one of those inconsistent goalies. When he's good, he's great. When he's bad, you can beat him pretty good. He's only got one shutout on the year, 2.35 goals against average, but a save percentage of about 92. Strong overall. Saros, though, in very limited action. I remember those numbers. 1.44 goals against average. He also has a shutout on the season. He's been spectacular in the 9 games he's played. If you see Saros in net, worry a little bit. Even though Pekka Rinne is the big name and he's one of the better goalies out there, watch out. Another club that has won 4 out of their last 5, so the Wild will be running into some pretty good teams here. This one scares me a little bit. I'm frightened as all get out at the fact that Darcy Kemper playing in this game. I really am. This one just reeks of a loss. I don't think the Wild are going to lose to the Ducks because I do believe Devin Dubnyk will be in net. With Kemper in net versus Nashville because of back-to-back, I think the Wild lose. I think they do, and that sucks. Again, another team playing really well right now. You got a 2-1 victory over Boston, 3-2 over Colorado. Surprise, you beat Colorado 1-0 Vancouver. Very good job by Vancouver shutting out Nashville. Not bad. Calgary 4-3, kind of messy. Edmonton 3-2. So the old Northwest Division there, kind of coming back again. I kind of miss it actually. I kind of miss Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton, all that. I kind of miss that. I do, which is crazy. Just crazy sounding, I'm sure, to some people. Philip Forsberg has been stepping up after a weak start to the season. Ryan Johansson, who was acquired last year, very strong so far for the Nashville Predators. Or was it the year before? I can't remember now. But I remember Ryan Johansson was acquired not too long ago. 32 points in the season, leading the team in scoring as the Wild needed a center so bad. And he's doing the Granlund over there. 7 goals, 25 assists. Top playmaker for Nashville. P.K. Subban, of course, still there, but he's missed time. No surprise there, I suppose. Seems like he always misses time. He's missed quite a bit. Multiple players on injured reserve. Granberg, Josie, Wilson, and Somaki. As of long ago with Somaki, way back in October 15th. The others during the course of January, though. Mike Ribeiro, the old Wiley veteran, former Montreal Canadian and Dallas Star. Kind of still hanging on. Still a decent, solid player. Mike Fisher had a pretty nice goal against the Wild last time around. Drove me a little crazy, but it was a good one, and there was almost nothing you could do about it. I don't like this game. I don't like it. I really don't. I'm thinking like 4-2. I don't trust Darcy Kemper, and I think this might be the end for him, at least for a while. He may be going down to Iowa, and you'll be seeing Alex Stalock. And, I believe in trends. I don't like him sometimes, and this one I don't like, of course, Darcy Kemper. I don't trust him. I think Nashville's going to win 4-2 over the Wild. 4-2. The most likely guy to score for Minnesota in this one. We'll go with Zach Parise. He's really due. He's always there. He gets his shot attempts, but he's just not burying them. I think he will bury one against Nashville, but the Wild will lose 4-2 with Darcy Kemper in net. I just don't have a good feeling about this one. 4 actually might be too high. I am going to go with 4 because Nashville's been playing very well. And I don't trust Kemper. Maybe 4-3. I think the Wild will score some goals against this club. But if Saros is in net, yikes. Saros is in net, watch out. That will spell some serious doom for the Wild. Tuesday, January the 24th, the Wild head to Dallas, Texas again. And this time, Devin Dubnyk will be in net. I think the Wild will win. I do. I think the Wild can beat these goalies. Antti Niemi, Kari Lehtinen, neither of them are any good right now. They're struggling. Lehtinen used to have the Wild's number. Even Niemi, again, with a nice solid victory over the Wild last time around. I'd expect a lower scoring game with these two teams, but will it be? I don't know. I mean, they've had a pretty high-scoring games for these two clubs the past couple times. It's going to be kind of fun to watch. Tuesday, January 14th. This one will be fun. Tyler Seguin, of course, scoring an easy one last time around. Last Kemper. I don't think he's going to get his easy one with Mr. Dubnyk in net. That's going to be the good part. Maybe even Alex Stalock will be in net, but I don't know. I'm not counting on that happening right now. I think Dubnyk will be in net. I think the Stars should be able to win the game against a struggling Dallas team. And, weak goaltending, they score, but it seems like they have the top guys scoring, including Klingberg and such. It was one of the top defensemen. We always talk about him. But there's a huge drop-off from Tyler Seguin and Jamie Benn down to Spezza and Patrick Eves and Klingberg and all that. I think, again, the Wild should be able to pull this one off. We'll go with a 3-2 victory over the Dallas Stars. Devin Dubnyk will be strong in net, keep them down to only 2 goals. Most likely guy to score. Are you ready? Let's just say it again. Erik Haula. And he's due. Yes, he had a goal recently, but before that he'd been so quiet. But I think Haula will get his second goal in the past 2 weeks here. And, he needs to get those numbers up. He's struggled this year. Of course, with injury. I don't think it's Boudreau and I don't think it's Boudreau's fault. Of course, nobody's going to make Haula better than John Torchetti. It seemed like those two are like a match made in heaven. But the Wild will win the game 3-2. Erik Haula most likely got to score. Devin Dubnyk should be able to stable things a bit. And I think the Wild will at least score 3 goals against a struggling Dallas defense. 3-2 victory. Regulation, Minnesota over the Dallas Stars. And we move into the final one. Another national television game against the St. Louis Blues. And I love the Wild on national television right now. And the Wild have had some decent success on national television, but now it's getting real good. And another statement game for the Wild to say, hey, we're better than the St. Louis Blues. We're better than the St. Louis Blues. And we are, right now, at the moment, 12 points ahead of St. Louis, which not that long ago sounded unheard of. And really not that long ago, you saw St. Louis in first place, tied with Chicago, and the Wild about 10 points behind the St. Louis Blues. In fact, I remember not that long ago telling you the Wild were 10 points behind the St. Louis Blues. Amazing how things can change so dramatically in this league. And it is cool, man, to see the Wild turn things around to the point they have. Jake Allen not having a good season in net because he's not looking over his shoulder with Brian Elliott anymore. In fact, there's really not a whole lot of goaltending going on with the St. Louis Blues. Carter Hutton, not really any better, obviously. Jake Allen, a goalie of the future, and he has a save percentage under 90%. He has really struggled. Only 1 shutout on the year, 2.85 goals against average. And Carter Hutton, 2.8 goals against average. It's minutely better in that case, but save percentage minutely lower. 17-12 for Jake Allen. He's just good enough, I guess, to help the Blues win some games, and that's about it, thanks to the high scoring capabilities of this club and the depth of this team. Paul Stastny's finally staying healthy. Good for him. The last couple of years, he's been snake bit with injury. All these familiar names, all the way from Patrick Berglund all the way up to Vladimir Tarasenko, 45 points in the season. He will score against the Wild because he always scores against the Wild. He's the Patrick Kane of the St. Louis Blues, without a doubt, and he's been a Patrick Kane against the Wild for the last 3-4 years. This has been a struggle, St. Louis and Minnesota, over the course of this season. St. Louis has played better against them, and they've been very strong. But I feel a trend coming on. I think the Wild, again, would lose to Nashville this week, but I think the Wild will go 3-1 and defeat St. Louis on national television. I like the way the Wild have been playing of late. They had a 3-1 victory over St. Louis during that strong run. Very strong, convincing victory, 3-1 on December the 11th after losing 3-2 very early in the year and then a shootout loss. Very, very frustrating after the Wild came back on the road on November the 26th. That was a heartbreaker. That was a little bit before, obviously, that big run by the Wild. We were all like wanting to break our hockey sticks if we had them at the time. If we were one of the players on the ice, you just want to smash your stick in that game. Wild unable to escape with the victory there. But I do think the Wild will win against this struggling St. Louis team. For as good as they are, they should have a better record. But again, the net mining not been very good. They've been very inconsistent. Where the last couple of years you had Brian Elliott and Jake Allen kind of trade places. Elliott was usually pretty strong. The last year, I think Elliott struggled a bit and Allen had stepped up. Now Allen with a mediocre backup. Nothing going right now. They almost have a Dallas Stars type of goalie tandem, but again, we won't go quite that far. The Wild success rate against Jake Allen's historically has been pretty damn good. I mean, even in losing, the Wild at least managed 2 goals really early in the year, and that was when the offense struggled. We had 3 goals on the 26th, and then we had 3 goals again on the 11th. The Wild will score at least 3 goals in Jake Allen, and I think that's all we're going to need. 3-2 victory for the Wild. Devin Dubnyk in net, strong performance. I don't think it's going to be Alex Stalock on national television. Tarasenko will definitely score one of the goals. Kevin Shattenkirk has just been fantastic all year, like he always is. Alexander Steen, always oh so valuable. Jaden Schwartz. I mean, all these names have always been good for this club, but the Wild will outshine the St. Louis Blues. And the most likely guy to score for the Minnesota Wild will be Jared Spurgeon. He's going to net his 7th goal of the year against the Jake Allen-led St. Louis Blues. I almost want to say Zach Parise again, but I'll have him scoring against Nashville this week. So there you go. And who knows? Hopefully he has multiple goals here. Hopefully he scores here. But I'm going to say the most likely guy to score against St. Louis, because he's had pretty good success against them in the past, is Jared Spurgeon. The Wild will win 3-2 and go 3-1 this week. So there it is. Another strong week. The Wild will maintain first place in the Central Division of the Western Conference, and they will maintain their top seed in the Western Conference. So let's look around very briefly at the prospects in the system. Luke Kunin with Wisconsin. The Gophers will be playing them this weekend. 14 goals in only 18 games this year. 7 assists, 21 points. Strong for the USA captain. Just a strong guy. What a leader. What a nice player. And he's leading that Wisconsin team very nicely under Tony Granato. Yeah, I'm very excited about the future of this guy, a natural goal scorer, and we need to get more and more of those. And again, he's good on both ends of the puck. Everybody loves the guy. Dmitry Sokolov, watch. Time for this guy to move to a higher level. I mean, it's like you're in Double-A in baseball. This is maybe the equivalent of Single A or Double-A, something like that. The OHL, the Sudbury Wolves. It's like you're down there and you got like 38 home runs in July, and it's only July. That's basically where we're at right now. I mean, really, 33 goals, 41 games, 49 total points in 41 games for the Sudbury Wolves. Okay, it's time to move up. I mean, again, that's like 38 home runs in July. Okay, bring him up to something. Can't wait to see him with the Iowa Wild as soon as next year. I think he needs to be with the Iowa Wild. Hopefully that won't be a big shocker for him. That would be quite disappointing if that took place. Jordan Greenway, let's check in on Jordan Greenway out of Boston University. The guy everybody calls the Beast, and he's basically the Beast out there. 7 goals, 8 assists, 21 points on the season. A better playmaker than a goal scorer, but a hell of a physical guy as well. Everybody loves him. He's a +7 for Boston University. He's got more points than games played, just like Luke Kunin, a spectacular college player. And everybody says he's NHL ready for this team. I mean, he's got NHL ready. Luis Belpedio, a defenseman who's playing for Miami University. He's a junior there. This is a name I'm going to bring up because he's been really strong. He had a couple of goals the past weekend. They've been talking about him lately some more. He was a 3rd-round pick in 2014. He's emerging, and he's a defenseman, a high-scoring defenseman. 13 points in only 17 games. He's really stepping it up down there. Over there, I guess we'll say, east of here, Miami University. He might be an interesting prospect, and he will definitely be on the Iowa Wild, I think, sooner than later. Wouldn't be surprised to see him next fall on the Iowa Wild, and who knows? Luis Belpedio, Luis Belpedio. He's only 5'10", another scorer. Maybe he'll be like a Jared Spurgeon at some point. He's only 20 years old, so definitely got his whole future ahead of him, and that's really cool to see. Yet another one emerging in the college ranks at this stage. Let's look at Kirill Kaprizov. This guy is going to be a phenom in this league, and not everybody's talking about him like crazy. He's dominating over in Russia right now for a team name that I cannot pronounce. Ufa Salavat Yuliyev. Okay, maybe I think I did get it. 38 points so far in 48 games over there. Of course, Euro and Russian league. Very hard to have a sample size, but in that Olympic tournament, the way he dominated at the level he did, the World Cup, whatever, World Juniors, pardon me, the way he dominated despite his small stature, kind of like a Steve Yzerman at 5'9", 185, only 19 years old. People very excited. 5th round pick for the Wild. Again, dare I say it again, another reason why Mr. Fletcher still has his job, because he's been making some really, really nice picks the past couple of years. Let's talk about a couple more. Pardon me. Need to hit the dump button here. Throat getting dry here. Whew, okay, despite the fact it's all humid out there, and the moisture and such. Timo Pulkkinen still leading the team in scoring, but he's missed a few games of late. Canoan, one of the top guys. Okay, we know Alex Tuck still at 18. Olofsson adding an assist this past week. Lucia adding an assist. Olofsson at 17 points on the year. Lucia at 16 points on the year. Samanas adding a goal. Kind of like that. So Samanas playing a little bit better down there in Iowa. Thank God he's starting to pick it up. Christoph Bertsky has been really big. A couple goals and assists this past week. He was struggling for so long. Now he's at 15 points all of a sudden. 8 goals, 7 assists down at Iowa. And of course Mike Riley at the NHL level, just like Jordan Schrader, Tyler Gravelock and all that, and Joel Eriksson back in Sweden. Nice to see the Lucias, the Olofssons, picking it up of late. That's great to see. Riley had 15 points in only 29 games down in Iowa because he had seen some time up here and such. Not a whole lot of games, but he was just kind of there as insurance for a little while during some of the injuries. And Riley also missing a little bit of time with some injuries, just like Samanas and such. But nice to see Samanas, who'd been doing almost nothing down there at Iowa, starting to get comfortable, starting to get confident, keeping up with that higher level of play. Because the AHL is higher than college. It is. Samanas was a scoring machine at the college level. So with Quinnipiac, a team I like a lot, actually. One of those rich little New York schools over there. But whatever. I mean, I'd rather see them win than frickin' North Dakota. So that's just how I am. Do you really think I was cheering for North Dakota? I don't think so, man. I'm a Gopher fan. I don't want North Dakota to win. Gabriel has been adding a couple goals as well this past week. He's had 6 goals in the season, but only 1 assist. So Curtis Gabriel, kind of like a Gravelock down there, right? Kind of a big physical guy who'll score a little bit, but won't really set anybody up. I wish Gravelock could add some assists. What the hell? Kind of funny how that's going. But nice to see Olofsson the last week adding an assist per week. So maybe he can get his numbers up as well. We'll let that continue to develop as it does. So that's pretty much it with the prospects and such. Exciting. Yes, absolutely. Alex Tuck, again, like I said, at 18 points. Nothing added this past week, but nice to see a couple of the mid-level prospects at this stage. And in some cases, Samanas, he's like a dark horse. But again, nice to see a guy doing something down in Iowa. We'll see how he continues to develop. But again, Lucia and Olofsson, important possibilities for the Wild in the not-too-distant future, I got to think. Bertsky was a 6th-round pick a couple of years ago, but he'd been struggling down at Iowa. Now he's picking it up, and that's, again, very encouraging. Now I'm repeating myself. There's the Twitter account, @BraveTheWild, @BraveTheWild, of course, all one word. And then for Facebook, facebook.com/BraveTheWild. Please like and join that if you could. I'd greatly appreciate it. Also, there is a phone line. It is 209-736-7877. 209-736-7877. It is a voicemail. Do treat it as such. Mention you're calling in to Brave the Wild. Keep it from 1 to 3 minutes, and you're greatly welcome on this show. I would appreciate it also very much if you did jump on board. And then you have the Call Now button for international callers out there, where it'll connect via the Facebook Messenger to the same phone line. Won't cost you a penny because Facebook Messenger is free. You all know that very much at this point. Please, you're more than welcome to do that. And then there's the audio submission route, which you can use the voice recorder on your phone and then email it to paladinolive@yahoo.com, paladinolive@yahoo.com, and you're right there, ready to rock and roll. And email it there. All the information will be in the show description, the phone line, the Twitter, the Facebook. Please do join things. Final thing, also, if you could, rate Brave the Wild on iTunes. Give it a 5-star rating and write something you like about the show. Maybe even something you want improved. You're more than welcome to do that. Don't give it 1 star. That's BS. This is not a 1-star show. You know that. Don't give it 2 stars. That's BS. 3 and up is more than welcome. Please do help me out. That would be greatly appreciated. Thank you again in advance. Please tell your friends about the show if you could as well. iTunes, Twist, Stitcher, and Double Twist. Double Twist is specifically for Android, Stitcher's for everything, and iTunes, of course, is Apple. Thank you again very much, and hopefully the Wild continue their winning ways.